Yeah, so hello everyone, and as you all know, that D23 Fan Event is going to take place tomorrow, and it's been now less than 24 hours remaining in the event. So this live stream, we are going to discuss our predictions and what are the cards for the you can say upcoming Disney D23 Fan Event, obviously which is taking place from 14th to 16th August, and let's see that what we can expect from it. We're particularly going to talk about the animated movies of Disney and Pixar, which will be, you can say, have a special attention or details at the upcoming D23 fan event. Definitely, there will also be a lot of other updates like MCU and other Disney live action movies. But we are not going to discuss that much one in detail. First of all, we're going to discuss these animated movies in detail. Yeah. Yeah, so we will discuss the complete list of the barrels which will be, you can say, included in the event, especially for the animated movies. And also, we will discuss some other animated movies which you could expect as a surprise announcement or as a surprise uh, event, or as a surprise, you can say, appearance at the event, which aren't included in the official list till yet. So let's begin and discuss every possible movie one by one. Yeah, so definitely, let's begin with the first of all most awaited one, which is definitely Frozen. And as we all know, that Frozen 3 has a lot of updates in the previous D23 event as well, and definitely this event it would be going to be more focused on Frozen, which we do think from our, you can say, calculations, and the reason is simple because Frozen is one of the major movies which is coming up next after that, because in the previous D23 there was also a focus on Story 5, which is now already got released, and this D23 particularly will be more focused on Frozen because it's the one which is, you can say, right now more focused and you can say more close to get released. It is coming out in January 7, and we hope so we'll get, you can say, more updates about it. Definitely there will be other movies too, and there are updates too, especially there is a surprise element for Toy Story 6 remake or around the internet as well, that it can be announced surprisingly at 8, or maybe we can have any hint towards it that there will be a Toy Story 6, or what can be expected in Toy Story 6, because definitely there can be something related to 8, as they will definitely going to be discuss the Toy Story 5 at the event, and that how it has performed, and definitely we get to know something related to the future of the franchise as well. Yeah. Yes, it could be majorly focused on the Frozen, obviously, because it's now nearly an year ago for the film to be released, and as Akhtar said already, that the previous event was like majorly focused for the Toy Story 5, obviously, because the movie was just going to be released a few months after the event. And same is the scenario with the Frozen 3, as it is going to release after that event. So obviously it will be more focused on Frozen, but we could expect the, you can say, major updates from other franchises as well, like the Incredibles is the among the rising one of them, that we could expect that we could get something bigger than expected about the upcoming Incredibles installment. Also, we could get something very interesting about the Moana 3, or maybe about the Monster Inc. 3 or Coco 2. Obviously, these two have, you can say, some kind of material to discuss right now, but still we haven't have sufficient details about these two sequels, that whether the Monster Inc. 3 and Coco 2, uh, what kind of storyline they will have, and what type of, you can say, scenarios they will opt to continue the franchise or things like that. So obviously that these two movies should also have been a discussion or in the one, but we do not know right now that whether they will discuss them in detail, or it will be just, you can say, some minor update or something like that. But yes, we could expect so much from the Frozen and Incredibles from this event, obviously, and After all, if we come into the Toy Story 6 scenario, then obviously it is also it could also be a trump card in the event that could be used by the Disney as they, you can say, could reveal it in the end of the event or in the middle of the event or something like that. They could just announce it, or you can say give a hint or glimpse about it, so that we could get some, you can say. You can say expectation or something like that, that Toy Story, there will be a Toy Story 6. Obviously there are already so many things that indicates that there will be a Toy Story 6, but there's nothing official right now yet, if it's official, then not at a level, not at a, you can say, higher level like an event. Obviously Andrew Stanton said that, so it's official, but it's official from the creative team, and we would like to hear that whether they also reconfirm it at a major event of Disney D23. Like D23, obviously it has a, you can say, great significance in the Disney movies and things like that. So obviously, if at a platform like D23, we could get something, or you can say, that could hint us to the Toy Story 6, then there will be a Toy Story 6. Yes. Definitely, and out of, you can say, if we discuss some movies out of the box, then one of those movies is definitely Cars 4 and Finding Merlin, and the Toy Story 6 is also one of them. But Cars 4 and Finding Merlin, these two movies are highly speculated and would be very surprising to get them at the D23 event, because for years there's no update, or you can say not any single mention of these franchises. Uh, like, what is their future? Are they going to make more movies in the Finding Nemo franchise? Are they going to make Finding Merlin? Or also, if we get into the Cars franchise, then after Cars 3, there is a complete silence. We never, you can say, have any kind of update or even a single statement from anyone that whether there will be a Cars 4 or not. Or even if they didn't want to get make a Cars 4, at least they can try something with the Cars franchise, maybe a spin off, something other than that. Because Cars franchise is one of the best Disney's franchise, so it totally gets out of my mind that why they aren't focusing on this franchise. Anyways, this is just a sneak peek. In this stream, we are going to discuss every movie in depth. That what we know so far, what are our predictions about that particular movie, and let's see that what's gonna happen, and what are our, you can say, especially proofs of pillars, that what if we say that some movies get going to get announced, that why we are saying that, what our, you can say, proofs, or the pillars on which we are establishing that thing, we are saying that. So let's first of all start with those movies which can be, you can say, surprisingly announced. And if we discuss the surprisingly, it means that definitely these movies are not listed officially on D23 cards. They are the one which can be announced surprisingly. And before start discussing them, I want to make sure to let all you know that in the past at the D23 events, we have seen multiple times that Disney has announced a lot of surprise elements during the events. There are a lot of, you can say, events which I can count you that in which Disney haven't, you can say, anything planned for some particular movie that we got a surprise. And actually, that's a way to make the event more interesting and more, you can say, more interesting to watch, and making the audience to more eager to participate in the event, so that they can get the updates at the very first place. And definitely that also makes sense. So first of all, if we discuss these movies, then let's start from the Finding Merlin. So definitely, as we all know, that Finding Nemo franchise is one of the, you can say, very original and classic Disney movies and movies franchise. And definitely, the first movie was, obviously, it totally nailed the whole things. In the second movie, The Finding Dory, we have to wait a lot, but we also got that. But ever since Finding Dory has released, it's been years. We haven't got any single statement about the Finding Nemo franchise future, or what are they planning to do with that? Because definitely, in the past years, we have seen a trend that Disney and Pixar are now bringing back their old projects and their sequels. Especially, we have seen that with the Toy Story franchise. We have seen that with the Insider franchise. We have seen that with Zootopia franchise. Zootopia was also the same, stuck after, you can say, 2014, and not any single update. But sorry, 2016. And after that, we got this Zootopia too finally. But now the main focus is on Finding Merlin, and Finding Merlin is definitely You can say, actually you can say it, Finding Nemo 3. It's a movie which is focused on Merlin. As we all know that the first movie was Finding Nemo, it was more, you can say, based on the main character of the franchise, Nemo, who is a clownfish, and his father. He's raised by his father. And in the second movie, it was more focused on Dory, finding Dory. Dory, who is, you can say, a stepmother of Nemo. And now the third movie is, you can say, planned to be more focused on finding Merlin. And that's not, you can say, any newer thing. Ever since the Finding Dory was released, Finding Merlin was, you can say, there in the minds of the fans. The fans knew that there can be a project like that, and even the makers also know that. But still, there hasn't been any official update or any official statement about it for years. So, Tamir, let us tell that what you have found about Finding Merlin. What are your findings? And can we expect Finding Merlin at the upcoming D23 fan event? Any update about it or anything related to the franchise future? Because it's definitely something all of we as a Disney fans and the Pixar fans are waiting for it for years. So, what are your findings, Tanvi? Let's please share with us in the stream. Yes, I was looking through the history of the D23, and I get to see that there are various, you can say, incidents where the event have been used for by the Disney for the surprise announcements. And surprisingly, after you will be surprised to know that in case of the animated movies, if we count that the Incredibles 3 was dropped just like that, because the showcase schedule at that time has zero mention about the franchise. But near the end of the animation segment, the Pixar chief executive officer, paid doctor, walked out and casually announced that Incredibles 3 was officially in active development, with Brad Bird returning to direct, entirely shocking the arena. Yeah, that would be a very, you can say, shocking for everyone, even for the audience, that at the end of a segment, that CEO just randomly came and then announced a movie. And the same for the Frozen 4 confirmation. Like, we already know that Frozen 3 was there. It was mentioned in the event list of the event, but we didn't know about Frozen 4. But just when the Bob Iger was announcing the Frozen 3, in the end of his discussion, he quickly announced the Frozen 4 as well, that it is also being developed alongside it. It will also be released. And the same scenarios was with the Ice Age Boiling Point and Zootopia 2. In some cases, they were announced by some voice actor, in some cases by a CEO, in some cases by some other member. But there are numerous incidents where we could get the surprise announcements at the event, and the event is popular for these things, and that's why the audience is very, you can say, uh, hopeful from that event that they could get something about Toy Story, Cars, or anything like that. The franchises which, you can say, haven't mentioned in the event list but still have chance. And also, as you said about the Fighting Berlin, it is also one of them. It is also one of those movies which aren't listed in the list. But yes, we could expect them, obviously, and that's because the event has a, you can say, very great history of such kind of incidents where we could get the surprise announcements. So obviously we could get the Fighting Berlin announcement, as it was in debate for a very long time, I think so. And uh, I think so that Disney have also the plans for it to make it happen. They have the plan. It was in the plans of Disney, but yes, going to delay it several times. But hopefully, at this D23 event, we could expect something from the franchise of the Fighting Nemo, that they could announce a new sequel. Obviously, yeah, definitely. And while you were sharing your, you can say, D23 fan events experience, that how it intends to be, you can say, announce surprise elements during the events, which we have mentioned earlier in the stream. And as we said that what we are going to say, we are going to, you can say, give you the a rational explanation that why we are saying that thing and why we think like that. And that's the explanation as that we have give all you guys, that these are all the instances at which we have got surprise announcement. There are definitely a lot. Zootopia 2, Incredibles 3, a lot of bigger films have been announced in the same way. So why not we can get Toy Story 6? Why not we can have Finding Merlin? Or why not we can have Cars 4? Everything is possible at the Disney D23 event. That's what we can say. Anyways, if we further dive into the Finding Merlin, Then so far the information we have about this is that the first, as we all know, Nemo movie was released in 24, was released in 2014. After that, in 2016, we have the Finding Dory movie, and after that, the fans were waiting a lot for a long for, you can say, the Finding Merlin or the third installment. And there isn't any official statement, but yeah, at a couple of instances, Disney and Pixar's chief executive officers and president have indicated, like Pete Docter has indicated in an interview that they are considering a third entry, and he also said that the ocean is a big place and they are looking into somewhere else to take the story. So it means that they have any plans in their mind for Finding Dory, and we can expect finding a Merlin or finding Nemo 3, and they can, you can say, dive into it again. Also, Jim Morris, the Pixar president, confirmed that the creative team at Pixar is also brainstorming ideas for the third installment, and they are looking into the things. They are brainstorming ideas and creative concepts for the upcoming movie, and soon they will get something good. Also, Andrew Stanton, who is the director of the first two movies, confirmed that he is willing to return back to the franchise if they have any other emotional arc or storyline to explain. And definitely, it's highly speculated that if Finding Merlin or any third installment in the Finding Nemo franchise happens, then Andy Stanton will definitely come back. Whether if it's not in the, you can say, direction role, he will come back as a producer, but he will definitely make a comeback. So these are the only official updates we got all in these almost a decade, because 2016 to 2026 is almost a decade. In all these 10 years, these are only the updates, official updates, which we get about this. Also, another, you can say, interesting thing is that Disney has developed a short film named Loving Dory, which is also getting a special, you can say, uh, update at this D23 event, and it's officially mentioned in the cards. And that's a really great thing if you can understand that if Disney is putting effort to create a short film for Finding Nemo franchise in the way of, you can say, Loving Dory, then it means that Disney wants to, you can say, bring back the franchise. It wants to do something with that. It wants to revive the fan base, and that's why they do things like that. Because short films are almost every time intended, and especially when the short films are of a grown franchise, then they are mostly intended to make the fans more curious, or you can say revive their nostalgia, to bring them to the franchise again so that they can release something bigger. And that's a really great point we have at this D23 event, that we will have updates about Loving Dory, and maybe in between them we can have any update about the third installment as well, because maybe not in the, you can say, announcement. So if not in the announcement, we can expect it in the question answer session, that maybe they can have any reply or any official statement that what they are thinking about the third movie. And that's, you can say, all what we can have so far about the third installment of Finding Nemo. And we hope that Finding Merlin will make its way, like when Nemo has made his way back to home. We hope that the same Finding Berlin, the movie, will make back its way to the screens again, because it's been almost 10 years since we got any Nemo movie, and the fans are, you can say, just waiting for it for a decade. It's almost a decade, sincerely. And we too are, you can say, a very great fan of Finding Nemo. We have watched the franchise. Finding Dory was also very good, and it's the great nostalgic era of Disney. Yeah, Finding Dory, Finding Nemo, Zootopia, and all these movies at that time in 2016. But after that, there was a sudden break. We all know that. But now, as things are moving forward, Disney is making sequels, so we can expect, and our expectations are, you can say, right. And also, at this time, we can say that it's also possible. So we can't, you can say, rule out Finding Merlin, that if it's not listed on the card, it's not going to happen. There is always a surprise element, as we have mentioned before in the stream, and we think so that Finding Merlin can be the one movie which can be announced surprisingly. Because what our, you can say, a way of thought is that there will be at least one surprise movie which Disney will announce at the event, and maybe it will be Finding Merlin. Yeah, it's possible. What are your take? What is your take on it, Tanvi? Yes, definitely we could expect the Finding Berlin, and the reason behind this, as far as I think, is that they have added the Lovely Dory short animated shot in the event list. So, as I have mentioned earlier in the history of the event, that at the many occasions, you can say has been done that a particular slot is booked for a particular franchise for some other thing, like for some other movie or something other like that. But then after that event, in the end of that section or segment, they surprisingly announce or give the hint for a big announcement related to the franchise. So we could expect the same from the Finding Berlin, because as you have mentioned that the Lovely Dory segment is in the list, obviously. So we could expect that might that you could say segment uh, give us the some glimpse or something like that, or some uh, hint to the Finding Berlin, or maybe they announced it. You can say clearly, officially by the end of the that segment. It is also possible. So, but yes, it is surprising to see, and also it is excited. It will be excited to see that what will happen in that specific segment, obviously, because that segment could have something surprising. I think so. Yeah, and just you can say mention that Loving Dory will have a storyline as it will revolve around, you can say, Dory, who finds a plastic bag, whom she thinks that it's a starfish, and she falls in love with her, and she started chasing it, and all of a sudden she was trapped in the pollution, and then later the movie revolves around Nemo, who is, you can say, on the verge, or you can say on the quest to save Dory and bring her back home, also with the help of some, you can say, human as well. So I think that this short is also intended to make, you can say, an impression on the environmental issue like pollution, especially the, you can say, water pollution, and that's a really great thing as well. And also, this is another thing to revive the storyline, and it's releasing in sometime in 2027, most likely before Pixar's upcoming movie Ghetto will come out. It will be in the theater, so it will be very good to watch. And also, we hope so that it will open the way for the third installment in the franchise. And anyways, if we move forward to the Cars 4 now, then the next surprise movie which we can discuss right now is Cars 4. So as we all know that Cars 4 is being speculated ever since the Cars 3 have came out, and it's been, you can say, almost a lot of years since we are waiting for anything related to cars. It's been 2017 since the last car movie came out, and after that, the fans are waiting for some update or any, you can say, cars movie. But we don't know why, but for years Disney has nothing for the Cars franchise, and that, to be honest, feels really, you can say, saddened at our point as a fan. That's why they just abandoned such a big franchise so easily, because Cars is a franchise on which they have worked a lot, and also in terms of merchandise sale, Cars is a franchise that is still a lot of selling a lot of merchandise, even after almost a decade since the last movie has been released. So why they have just abandoned the, you can say, a franchise like that? It doesn't make any sense to us, anyways. But if we discuss particularly about the Cars 4, then the concept was first announced also at a D23 event. So it is, you can say, a year or two ago that an official D23 survey on the official X handle of the D23, it was mentioned that which movie or which announcement you are more looking for. And in that poll, we can have multiple options. Definitely, all these options were also on the official cards. But there is an option which was not on the official cards, but it was mentioned as an option at the official D23 website, and that option was Cars 4. And guess what? The fans were hugely speculated. They were just excited that finally we are getting something related to Cars 4, because it's not a simple handle, it's the official handle of Disney D23, managed by Disney's workers. So if they are mentioning Cars 4, then definitely there is going to be something related to Cars 4. But for some reason, after that, all of a sudden, they just removed the poll and changed the Cars 4 with some other movie. So this is, you could say, something really surprising, but also at the same time, it gives fans a little hope, a hope of a decade, because it's almost a decade since the last movie has released. So it gives fans the hope that there can be a Cars 4 in the future. There is still hope alive. There's still something going on at the back end, and Disney is still thinking something about Cars franchise. So that's one a great thing, and we have also made, you can say some videos on it, and that's a really great thing. that we finally have something related to cars at least. But after that, it's been a year or two. There is still complete silence regarding the franchise. We haven't got any glimpse. We haven't got anything other than that. That's just, you can say, all we have got. So tell me, what did you think? Did you think that Cars 4 can be a surprise element or surprise movie which can get announced at the upcoming D23 fan event? Can it be a movie because it is also indicated earlier in the D23 event a year ago, or so definitely it is possible that at that time for some reason it got delayed, but right now they can announce it. What do you think
What do you
about?
think? Yes.
Yes, definitely there are some chances for the Cars for announcement, especially after the uh, we can say that specific event which has been occurred the last year before the event on the social media, that rumor or thing like that, what we could say it, that specific thing which spread out the you can say the news for the Cars 4, we could expect that in this event we could expect something from the car franchise. But I was searching about some things here, and which was I I want to know about the things here. I have seen some posts about the Cars new, you can say, animated series for the preschool audience and things like that. So I was just sending out the thing to confirm it. And for the information, the Cars 3, obviously, it was, we all know, was a moderate box office success. It was the lowest grossing animated film of the Cars franchise, although, but still, one thing is right, you are after right, you are absolutely right, that still, till nowadays, Cars franchise is one of the, you can say, very big giant for the Pixar and Disney in merchandise sales, and that's because the concept of the cars. So still, as a whole, the car franchise is still a, you can say, much more successful franchise for the merchandise and other things like that. And also the movies, the first two car movies were massively hit. And if there was some, you can some a dip or something like that with the Cars 3, then it shouldn't be that they can't give another chance for such a huge franchise which has produced billion of dollars for them, not for the only for the films but also for the merchandise. And also the one thing which I have also said at the beginning, that about I have seen something about the Cars animated series. So yeah, as we all know that after the Cars 3, they aren't focusing on the car movies anymore. Although they are making expanding the universe with with the series, with the animated series, like the one I remember was Cars with the let me check, Cars with the, yeah, Cars on the Road. And now the recently announced one was the Cars in the Road, and now the recently announced is for the preschool audience. It's Cars Lightning Racers. It will be aired on the Disney Junior, and it will be scheduled to premiere on 2027. So they are expanding the franchise with the animated series, but on the other hand, they aren't thinking about expanding it with at least one movie. They should give it one another movie chance, and I think so that it will be a very massive hit, especially when the we are getting the sequels of such a huge franchises. So the Cars franchise also deserve a sequel, and I think so that these things that you also have you can say that update that recently when there was a Cars franchise anniversary, they have some kind of special things like that. Disney have launched a special short, I think so, on the YouTube channel, thing like that. So it means that they are somehow trying to revive the franchise and allow also the new animated series. So yeah, we could expect that thing that might be this event could lead us or give us some update about any other car movie, because I think so that they are now getting towards the franchise. They are now focusing again on the franchise. That's why they are producing the animated series as well. So yeah, it might be possible that we could expect something from the Cars franchise at the event. Yes. Yeah, definitely, Tami, you're right. And also, if we can say dig further, then uh, we can expect Cars 4 at the D23 event. And if you further dig into the Cars 4 storyline, then there is a huge, you can say, thing which they cover, which is absolutely will be right, and they can cover. You can say something like Lightning McQueen could step fully at the mentor role for Chris Myers, mirroring Doc Hudson's arc. It was, you can say, an initial storyline which was highly speculated. But right now, another popular storyline these days is the plot might pit traditional engines against modern autonomous or electrical vehicles. So it is also a possible storyline that we can see the old cars fighting against the newer ones, which are electric cars. So this is also, you can say, a really great thing. Although we can may have some, you can say, the AI featured advanced cars or something like that. So there are a lot of ideas they can bring the franchise back with, but it definitely depends upon how they are perceiving the things and what they are thinking about the franchise. But we hope so that we can get something related to Cars 4, and I hope personally hope that we can get and we will get something at this D23 event. And if you further, you can say dive into the next surprise movie, then it's the Inside Out 3. So Inside Out 3 is not is officially, you can say, confirmed by the statements, but not officially announced yet. It has the same scenario as we have for the Toy Story 6, and that the movie is, you can say, said to be, you can say, possible by the director. Officially, he will this, but on the other hand, it's not officially announced yet. So there will be a, you can say, huge thing if it can get announced at the upcoming D23 event. And it's also, you can say, possible because we have got, you can say, Inside Out 3 in 2025, Inside Out 2, sorry, in 2024, and it's been, you can say, almost 2 years now, so they can announce the sequel if they want. And if they announce it right now, it will take 2 to 3 years to come, and it's still possible because it makes sense as they are making Mona 3 is already in development, and they have officially announced it. David Jensen has officially announced it. So definitely, if they are making Mona 3, which also released alongside Inside Out 2 in 2024, so why not an Inside Out third movie? And it's, you can say, highly possible. And also they do have ideas, and they do have the new emotions also already, which they haven't used in the first movie, which they will use in the next movie. So definitely, it's also a highly possible thing. What did you think, David? Yes, Inside Out 3 has the same case as just like the Toy Story 6, that it is announced, you can say it is hinted, not announced by the director, but still there is nothing from the Disney side, or you can say the corporate side. So yeah, it has the same scenario, and we could expect that the Inside Out 3 could be announced. And the reason behind this is that we have seen that Disney have focused on the Inside Out franchise in the past few years. Like obviously, it's got a sequel, and then also the sequel was a, you can say, super hit, obviously. So yeah, we would expect that Inside Out 3 could be one of those movies which we could get a surprise announcement for. It could be something like that, yes. And also, since the Inside Out 2 was released in 2024, so it's now already 2 years from the movie. So yeah, we could expect some major update from the event that it could have something like that. Yes. Yeah, definitely you're right. And also, if further you can say dive into the things, then Inside Out 3 is, you can say, also makes sense because definitely they have left the door open for the next movies. And also, as we have seen that Riley is growing up, so there will definitely be new emotion and things like that. And definitely it's possible, and it's also can be a movie which can get got a surprise announcement at the upcoming D23 event. If we move forward to our final and, you can say, surprise entry in the D23, which can be now surprisingly and with the very high chances, it was Story 6. Definitely, we have discussed it a lot in our previous streams, in our videos, that Toy Story 6 is highly speculated to get announced at the upcoming D23 fan event. And the reason is that it's definitely simple because, as you started has multiple times mentioned, that Toy Story 6 will be there, it is happening. So if it's happening, and that also Pixar already have got ideas for it, so it will most likely come earlier than the previous Toy Story movies, and for that it will definitely get announced soon as well. And there is a huge speculation that it is getting announced at the upcoming 23 event, although it's not officially mentioned on the cards, but still fans are expecting that we can get a surprise announcement or any surprise element, which is, you can say, indicating to the six installments or the future of the franchise. So what do you think that? Yes, obviously, Toy Story could be the best among these options to be announced in the surprise, to be announced as a surprise at the event, obviously, and especially after the recent success of the Toy Story 5 in the box office. Yeah, we could expect it that there should be, if not the you could say any kind of official announcement, then might be something that could hint to the Toy Story 6. Might be some words from the Eddie Stratton once again, like he have already give so many hints. But yes, if he could be able to do again at the event, then it could be, you could say, have another kind of worth, obviously, because when you have on such a bigger platform and you hint it to something bigger like that, so it definitely has some greater value. So yes, we could expect something, or not, if not in, you could say, officially, or that might be something which is hidden, or just give us some kind of hint or something like that, that there will be something with the toys, with the Toy Story. There will be something with the Toy Story franchise in the upcoming years. There will be some uh, new sequel. Yes. Yeah, yes. If if definitely, as we have seen that in the past, the movies like Incredibles 3 got announced as a surprise announcement. Also, as you have mentioned, that Inside Out 2 was also a surprise announcement. So So definitely we can expect the Toy Story 6 as a surprise announcement as well. And the reason behind this is definitely because Toy Story 5 has performed so much well and still performing a lot of well. And definitely there will be some talk regarding Toy Story franchise at the D23 Fan Event. It's not possible that we didn't have any talk, and also taking into account that they will discuss about the previous movie's performance. Definitely they will have any kind of statement or any kind of thing indicating the future of the franchise and where they are actually placing Toy Story 6 in their minds. Or if it's, you can say, if it can get announced, then that definitely would be a, you say, a very surprising and good case. But on the other hand, it is highly possible too, if in from all these movies, Toy Story 6, Finding Merlin, Inside Out 3, and Cars 4, you ask us to choose one which is highly possible to get announced, and we do think that Toy Story 6 is one of them, which is with the very higher chances. Definitely, the reason behind this we have told you a lot, multiple times, that it's been, you could say, a high demand. Toy Story 5 is performing a lot well, and Pixar do have already ideas and the plans that they are going to make the sixth installment. And when they have, you could see, such kind of commitments as they have, for example, in the Moana franchise, they just announced the Moana 3 so far rapidly. So we think so that the same will be the case with Toy Story 6 as well. Yeah. Yes, and also one thing there here is that right now, which is officially, you can say, mention or think, you can say, that which is officially acknowledged, is that at the event there will be some more thing like that Disney and Pixar will, you can say, roll out the efforts to, or you can say, announce. Although it is already announced, but they will roll out their efforts on the Toy Story 5 as it is heading towards the home digital and Blu-ray release windows. Now, obviously, after successfully completing its theoretical campaign, it is now heading towards the Blu-rays and the digital media. So obviously, there will be a semblance for that to, you can say, have that announcement and notice that to the audience and things like that. So yeah, we couldn't deny that there will be nothing about the Toy Story franchise at the event if it isn't mentioned. There will be there will be segments like that for the promotion of the Toy Story 5 on the Blu-ray and digital platforms. So definitely there will be some discussion for the Toy Story 5, and if there will be some discussion for the Toy Story 5, then we could expect something for the Toy Story 6 as well, as the Toy Story 5 is now getting released on the digital platforms on August 18, 2026, and it will be available on Blu-ray and DVD and things like that on September, I think so, on 22nd September. So obviously there will be some discussion on things, and if there will be a segment for the Toy Story, then we could expect that it could get us some hit or something like that for the Toy Story 6. What would you say about this? Yeah, definitely. And also, one other thing is here is that Toy Story franchise has been, you can say, been known always for making surprises, and maybe that's one of those surprises which we are awaiting. And also, let's see that what's happened because it's the very first D23 after the release of Toy Story 5. So we can expect a lot from it, and we also taking into account that we have got so much teasing statements, official teasing statements by I mean from as you started at multiple times before, even after the release of Toy Story 5 at different events. So D23 is a major event he's getting after the release. So at this point, you can expect anything. Anyways, if we move forward to the those movies which are now actually on the cards, that definitely there is. We are going to start with the Frozen 3. Frozen 3 is officially on the cards of D23 fan event, and definitely there's going to be something big or revelation regarding the third movie at the event. As in the previous event, we got to see the first glimpse of the third movie, in which you can see Anna and Elsa riding over a horse, and behind them is a newer villain Shadow, which is a shadowy and dark figure, looking like an evil entity or something like that. So that was the first glimpse at the Frozen 3. And also, we got to know that the movie will keep going on its musical, you can say, streak, as well as they are producing a lot of good musical themes. So they will continue their streak in the third movie as well. So that this was the update we got in the previous D23 event. Now let's see what we can get in the upcoming D23 event about Frozen 3. We can expect a surprise teaser. We can expect a surprise storyline announcement or something like that. But still, let's see that what we can get, because it can also be a first look, because technically the first look they revealed before was just a concept art for a scene. It was not a proper first look. So there is a possibility that we can get a Frozen 3 first look, especially that how they have modeled or rendered the characters in the third movie, anything related to that, and official first look. So let's see that what we can get. What are your thoughts over this? Tell me what we can expect. Yes, we could expect the first look from the Frozen 3, as well as something about the storyline, as it is quite unclear till yet that what will be the actual storyline of the Frozen 3, and also that there should be something about the storylines that we could measure that how will be the storyline in the Frozen 4 as well, because the same storyline will continue in the Frozen 4. So obviously that you could expect something from the storyline side or something from the first look. These are the two things which we could you can say get to see at the event. We could get both of them as well, but the higher chance is that we could get at least one of them at the event. Obviously, that because it is now almost a year, and when the next year when the event approaches in August, that there will be only 2 months for the movie. So it could be, you can say, good for the trailer release or something like that at that time, because it was too late for the obviously the story and the first two things like that. So people expect it from this event in this year. Yeah, definitely you're right, because as I said at the start of the stream, that this event is going to be more focused. If you are asking us about any movie on which it will be more focused, then definitely it's going to be more focused on Frozen 3, because it's the movie which is, you can say, right now more closer to the release date, more closer to get out. So that's why it will more focus on it. We'll get more updates about it, because the far the movie is from the release date, the less we can expect the updates about it. So Frozen 3 is very closer to the release date, so it's possible that we get a lot of good updates about it. On the other hand, if we discuss the Frozen 4, so definitely there will can be a mention or something a good or some good revelation about Frozen 4 as well. Maybe they can reveal something interesting, like why. what will be the element due to which the plot will be divided into the fourth movie, anything like that. They can highlight something or some event. So this will also be, you can say, some update about Frozen 4 as well. Anyways, if we further, you can say, move on, then the next official movie which is on the card is definitely Incredibles 3. Incredibles 3 got announced at the previous D23 event, and we also got the sorry at the yeah, a previous D23 event, and after that we also got the, you can say, release slot for it revealed by Pixar that is coming out sometime in 2028. And also, you can say, we have, you can say, got the official first look, first look at the logo of the movie. But none other than that, we have got so far from Disney or Pixar about the movie, that what will be the storyline, what will be the characters, what will be the cast, and everything like that. We didn't get any single update about them. So it is also highly expected that it's the first D23 ever since the movie has been announced, so we can get some more information. Maybe you can say regarding the plot, or maybe a concept art or anything like that. That what will be the major theme of the, you can say, movie? Will they be more focused on the, you can say, adult version of the child, or will they be focused on something other than that? So it will be really interesting to see that what can happen. And what our personal prediction is that they, what we think, so that they will just reveal some major theme of the movie. Right now they aren't going to reveal a lot of information about Incredible 3 right now, because definitely it's coming out in 2028, so they definitely have a lot of time. And currently the movie will also be in a, you can say, very early phase of development. So we can't expect much from it, but yeah, definitely we get at least we will get some information about the movie, that what is the major concept. Yeah. We, in the beginning of the stream, I have already mentioned that in this event we could expect major updates of two of these franchises. One is Frozen, the other one is Incredibles, and that's because it is also in the queue after the Frozen 3. So obviously, and four. So obviously, after the Frozen, there will be the number for the Incredibles. But yes, still they have a lot of time. They have a lot of D23 awards in between, on which they could, you can say, easily go through the sequels.